Welcome back to Definitely Not Definitive. I'm Ken.
And I'm Bethany.
We're just deadly duo in love that loves reacting to some death battle.
Ooh, yeah, we do.
And so we're checking out Guts versus Dimitri, Berserk versus Fire Emblem. We only know Guts from the other death battle from Berserk versus Guts versus Nightmare.
Yeah.
And yeah. So if you want all of our death battle reactions, check out the description of this video because we got a playlist there for you and a link to Patreon. We can get early ad-free access to our videos. Woo-hoo. So real quickly, Bethany's going to explain how we do death battle on this channel because it's a little different.
Yeah, so if you haven't watched any of our other death battles, you may not know that Ken and I are a little bit competitive, and we like to figure out which one of us is right and wrong when predicting the winner.
Mm-hmm.
So this year, we added some money to make it more interesting. And whichever one of us has the most money, i.e. has chosen correctly or bet correctly the most times by Thanksgiving, gets to choose our outfits for New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. So we'll start off by watching the first half of the video. They talk about their characters' weapons, skills, armors, advantages, disadvantages, all that. Then we stop the video, we place our bets, and then we watch the second half to find out which one of us is right and which one of us is wrong.
Okay. You ready to do this?
Ready.
Guts, the brutal black swordsman of Berserk.
And Dimitri, the savage savior king from Fire Emblem. Vengeance is an ever-malicious force that can turn anyone into a broken, traumatized,
unstoppable one-man army. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
In the realm of Midland, life really sucks all around. Demons run rampant, villages get pillages, and a helpless elf fairy has become target practice for some thugs. Batter up!
Until walking into the torment comes a stranger clad in black, cleaving through anyone in his way with one humongous sword.
Wiz, that weapon is too big to be called a sword, too massive and thick, more like a slab of raw iron that no normal man could wield.
Except for the man with a simple but fitting name, Guts.
But what is it that makes Guts so terrifying? Well, we're about to get into some really, really dark shit.
Born from his mother's recently hanged corpse,
Yeah.
Guts was taken in by a mercenary band led by Gambino.
Who definitely is the father of the year. Gambino put Guts through the ringer, training him with swords way too big for him before putting him into live combat at only 9 years old.
Training with such large swords made Guts inhumanly strong, but he needed a different kind of strength to endure the horrendous abuse he suffered from Gambino.
So he murdered the bastard in self-defense. He deserved it, trust me. With no home or family to speak of, Guts aimlessly wandered for years as a lone mercenary.
Until he caught the eye of the ambitious Griffith. Impressed by Guts' bold battle prowess and blunt honesty, Griffith wanted him. So Guts joined his mercenary group, the Band of the Hawk.
Where Guts' gutsy fighting style made him the perfect captain. The dude was hardcore enough to fight 100 enemy soldiers on his own. And even helped end a 100-year-long war, all while earning respect and glory with Griffith and his group.
For the first time, Guts found true friends and comrades to rely on.
But when Griffith realized he couldn't keep Guts at his side, really, really bad things happened.
Upon the eclipse, Griffith summoned a bunch of demons, became a super demon himself, and sacrificed Guts' new friends to the abyss.
Oh my god!
If that wasn't bad enough, he marked Guts with a demonic brand, then raped his girlfriend Casca, forcing Guts to watch as his eye was split open and he was forced to tear off his own arm.
Yeah, really bad things.
Yeah.
Guts barely escaped with his life. He vowed to brutally murder Griffith and every demon, down to the last one. No small task, even for him.
And every big task needs even bigger weapons. Guts' bread and butter is the enormous Dragon Slayer.
6.5 feet long and weighing over 300 pounds, Dragon Slayer is absurd. In Guts' hands, it can cleave through plated armor and even demons with skin of corundum, a real-life metal that is harder than steel.
And since Guts has made killing demons his favorite pastime, Dragon Slayer was exposed close to so much demonic blood that it exists on the astral plane, meaning it can harm any supernatural monster. God, this thing's heavy.
Guts also carries a collection of explosives and throwing knives, but I'm partial to his mechanical arm, complete with a wondrous invention of a repeater crossbow and a secret cannon.
Yeah, that's neat and all, but they aren't as awesome as Dragon Slayer here. God, how does he do this? Okay, the repeater crossbow is pretty cool. It can fire a volley of 4 to 5 bolts per second, making it the go-to option for mowing down groups of bad guys. And hey, if you gotta lose your hand, replacing it with a goddamn super gun is the way to go. Even demons are afraid of this thing.
Hell yeah.
See ya, snake face?
With his collection of weapons and indomitable will, Guts slaughtered everyone and everything in his way.
Be it an army of trolls, a supersonic elf fairy, or some Bible thumper whose blows were like cannons.
But while Guts took the physical challenges in stride, his mental strife was a different story.
He had demons to deal with, literally
Yeah.
and figuratively, always tormented by his inner beast of darkness.
Guts tried to shoulder this trauma alone, even for a time leaving behind Casca, who survived but was mentally broken. Nothing would replace the comrades Guts lost during the eclipse. However, through his resilience, he eventually saw the dangerous path he was on, and so reunited with Casca and eventually came to depend on new companions.
Including pretty boy Serpico. He doesn't look like much, but the guy is fast enough to dodge lightning at speeds over 100 times faster than sound. And
Damn.
Guts has kept up with him more than once.
And thanks to the witch Flora, Guts got his deadliest and riskiest asset, the Berserker armor.
Oh boy, by shutting down all mental limitations, this armor gives Guts a huge amp in strength. Pain means nothing to him now, and it even heals injuries on the fly. Wait, did I say heal? What I meant was it pierces his torn flesh and broken bones together so he can fight until the actual last drop of blood has left his body. Man, that's hardcore.
And extremely risky. Donning the armor has been nearly disastrous for him more than once.
Yeah, when he's in a stitched up rage, the beast of darkness is gnawing on his mind, tempting him to go berserk. Bam! Title drop.
Guts' tenacity is a sight to behold. He's held back a demonic dragon, withstood being impaled, and even teamed up with a fabled demon swordsman to take down an apostle that can channel lightning.
And sliced up a cloud dude in the rawest manga panel ever. Just look at it. If that's not badass enough for you, he once killed a giant sea god from the inside.
With its wail, this behemoth created a storm that covered an entire island. The kinetic energy of such a storm is immense. Gauging the size of the island, the energy required to induce such a storm would need to exceed 600 kilotons of TNT.
Yeah, that's right.
Jesus.
Guts gutted a sea monster whose shout was a natural disaster.
He needed to do that and much more to reach Elfhelm, where Casca's lost sanity was finally returned. Things were looking up for the legendary Black Swordsman.
But that bastard Griffith just wouldn't leave him alone.
No matter how tragic his tale becomes, Guts will persevere for his allies, both past and present.
He has new friends, a renewed heart, a badass sword, and the last thing any man, demon, or god wants to do is mess with him. Fuck yeah!
On the continent of Fodlan lies the holy kingdom of Fargus, a knightly nation where the youth learn to swing a sword before they can write their own name.
Fargus makes me think
Prince
of
Dimitri
Shrek.
Alexandra Blathid was no exception.
The kid was a prodigy, able to spar with far more experienced warriors, in part because he
Like
was a
Farquaad
crest
or whatever.
bearer.
Yeah,
Or
Lord
someone
Farquaad.
gifted mystical power through the blood of the goddess Sothis. Those born with a crest gain anything from enhanced magic to superhuman strength.
At 9 years old, Dimitri could lift giant boulders, run across mountains for hours, and constantly broke swords by accident. Most elites who had a crest also had a massive ego, but not Dimitri.
Right, Dimitri was strong, but generally kind. Like when he gave his childhood friend Edelgard a dagger. An earnest, if odd, gift.
Yeah.
I got shotgun shells for my first crush. But life took a turn for Dimitri when a mysterious group murdered his dad and a bunch of knights, burning them all in front of him, and leaving the poor kid with some serious survivor's guilt.
Guilt that only worsened when the country of Dusker was unjustly blamed for the tragedy. Dimitri lamented that he could not stop Fargus's corrupt nobles.
Don't worry though, when those same nobles rebelled a couple years later, he fought them like a beast, slaying them all with sadistic glee.
This savage side would emerge when Dimitri was reminded of the tragedy he witnessed. Otherwise, his chivalrous charm remained forefront.
With guidance from his dead dad's buddy Rodrigue, Dimitri got into the Garrick-Mach Officers Academy, where he led the Blue Lion's house and learned the mystic arts.
Well, he's not the most proficient in it, but Dimitri did learn healing and elemental magics, able to call down lightning or even channel it through his weapons.
Letting him electrocute tons of enemies at once.
Damn,
He learned
game looks
this
fun.
and more from everyone's favorite Smash Bros. Character, Professor Byleth.
Assuming you picked Dimitri's Blue Lions when you played Fire Emblem Three Houses. We're getting a little meta here, but his story turns out very differently depending on the path chosen. Aside from the Blue Lions, there's Edelgard's Black Eagles,
And the Golden Deer, led by the crafty Claude Von Regen, aka the Best House.
that band of goofy misfits. The Black Eagles are a far more cohesive unit.
Nah, fear the deer, Wiz.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Ashen Wolves for life, losers!
Jocelyn picks the Goths.
Anyway, in Dimitri's route, he mastered all manner of
like houses in
weaponry,
Harry
lances,
Potter.
swords, axes, gauntlets, and more.
Some of these weapons use magic, some use poison, and others are used to slay giant monsters. But all of them made Dimitri an ace at warfare, especially when Byleth taught him some special skills.
The seal movement technique stops foes in their tracks. Frozen Lance skewers enemies with ice, and Swordbreaker boosts evasion against blade users. To top it off, Dimitri can enter an awakened state for even more power.
Dimitri led his classmates through thick and thin, but everything changed when he suspected the one behind the tragedy of Dusker was his old dagger friend, Edelgard. Dun dun dun!
To end Fodlan's oppressive crest system, Edelgard and her empire declared war on Fargus and the Church of Seros.
Dimitri could be cruel before, but after this betrayal, he snapped, vowing to kill every last one of them. For 5 years, he slaughtered the enemy, all to appease the voices that called for Edelgard's head.
He's not exaggerating. Dimitri truly believes his dead loved ones cry to him, unable to know peace until he claims vengeance.
As if prince turned murderer hobo wasn't scary enough, he wields the ultimate lance, the hero's relic, Eredfar.
Forged from the bones of dragon-like Nabateans, Eredfar is much stronger than ordinary metal. It can pierce any armor with its signature move Atrocity, and only crestbearers can wield it without mutating into a monstrous black beast.
With his lance, Dimitri kept killing, but no bloodshed could calm his mind. He reached peak war crimes, torturing an enemy commander in blind rage.
But when his actions led to Rodrigue making the ultimate sacrifice, Dimitri was broken, terrified of yet another voice haunting him.
Except this time, he had his professor to help him out. We've really gotta pay teachers more, y'all.
Dimitri still felt hatred for Edelgard, but looked past it to the friends and kingdom he neglected and made a choice.
Instead of killing every last one of them, he would save every last one by retaking Fargus's capital.
A task this wretch turned savior king had the strength to do.
Dimitri has dodged meteors going Mach 60, decimated a squad of soldiers with one spear throw, and defeated a wizard from the magic Illuminati.
This is Talus, whose power shook a futuristic underground city.
And Dimitri just walked through his magic like it was nothing.
Dimitri's
Damn,
also
batting
more
away.
than a match for Edelgard, who, in her route, bested the Archbishop of the Church of Seros, Rhea.
This is important because after dragging it up, Rhea survived 2 exploding javelins of light, aka magic nukes. Jeez, and Dimitri can fight on her level?
Indeed, but in the end, despite half a decade of slaughter, Dimitri was hesitant to kill Edelgard, in part from learning she wasn't responsible for the tragedy. Still, both monarchs had ideas for Fodlan that were simply incompatible.
And then Edelgard pulled a fast one with that old dagger present. Dimitri definitely felt that irony.
The war was over, and with his allies at his side, Dimitri claimed his place as a just king.
Unless, you picked a different house. His story doesn't end very happy in those.
But though the voices of the dead will haunt Dimitri until his final breath, so long as he has his friends, conviction, and compassion for the living, he will find peace.
So I don't know who's gonna win, but in both of them there was a mock number. It was higher for guts,
Okay.
so I'm putting 5 on guts.
Put 5 on guts. They throw a lot of math out there. They throw a lot of numbers, and they take that into consideration. And Dimitri's got magic and everything like that. But Guts's level of badassery is just higher. So I'm going with Guts as well. I'm gonna put. I'm gonna try to catch up. I'm gonna put 10 on Guts.
Ooh.
And see what happens here. Yeah. Okay.
There's another piece of the pie influencing my decision, but I'm not proud of it.
What?
So Dimitri is like, when push came to shove, he didn't kill everybody. He saved everybody by being this great leader. Guts killed everybody. No questions asked, no hesitation, not even a pause for a second thought.
Yeah.
Usually that would make me go 100% into Dimitri's camp. He's like the nice guy. I don't know if he's going to have what it takes to kill Guts, because if he so much as hesitates, I'm pretty sure Guts is going to take his head. So,
true.
Not proud of that, but that's the other piece influencing my decision.
Okay.
All right, the combatants are set. We've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
100 men strong. What drives your slaughter? To save the high and mighty crap till you're dead.
Animation is awesome.
It is impressive that he can parry this sword that big.
Right? Yeah, I don't think those are gonna do anything to this guy. Ooh. Got one.
Oh.
What? I'm about to say, I was like, that's over quickly, but okay.
I will tear your head from your shoulders. The dead must have their revenge.
Yeah. Shit.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, he's still intact, it looks like.
Yeah. This dude can take a beating.
They both seem to be able to.
Promise, I'll kill them. All of them. Down to the last one.
Oh. Sweet. Punch in the face.
Enough of this.
Uh-oh. This has been the season of you think they're dead and they're not.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh. Bye, magic staff.
They become friends.
Still standing?
Oh, but he's dead.
So we're both shackled to the dead. You foul beasts will not have his soul!
I don't know what's scarier, Dimitri the demon or Guts still standing there. He was a badass till the end.
Being fast enough to dodge lightning, Guts actually had a slight speed advantage over Dimitri.
You're right.
Though skills like seal movement and sword breaker helped Dimitri close the gap.
And while Dimitri had some minor healing magic to fall back on, it wasn't gonna compete with the raw endurance from the Berserker armor.
Still, Dimitri's absurd strength and wider pool of weapons and abilities gave him plenty of ways to wear Guts down. Against Dimitri's electricity magic, Guts' sword and armor were vulnerable conductors, making every class Ash an opportunity to electrocute him.
Sure, Guts has defeated lightning callers before, but he needed help. Not to mention moves like Atrocity can pierce through armored foes, bypassing half the point of wearing the Berserker armor.
Guts could power through some of Erdfar's damage, but he wasn't invincible and could not heal from fatal wounds.
Then there's both fighters' raw power. Slaying demons is really impressive, obviously, but not always on par with magic nukes.
Remember, in Edelgard's route, she defeated Rhea, who survived 2 Javelins of Light. In Dimitri's route, he defeated Edelgard while she was a powered-up crest monster. That happened.
So, if Rhea could take on the Javelins of Light, Dimitri should be at a similar level. So, let's find out how strong a Javelin is.
In Fodlan's lore, several Javelins decimated a forest, forming the Valley of Torment. However, the exact number of Javelins used to create the valley was never given, making the power of an individual Javelin unclear.
But we do know the Javelins in this attack were supposed to hit the Garrigmach Monastery, until the goddess Sothis noped them away and they hit the forest instead.
We also know that the Javelins of Light are not limitless, with typically no more than 6 being used at once, even against structures similar in size to Garrigmach.
So, if a similar amount were used in the attack that made the valley, each Javelin would pack a payload that's over 3 gigatons of TNT.
Even if we severely lowballed this and said the destruction was divided between 10, 50, or even 100 different Javelins of Light, surviving 2 Javelins would still be greater than the best of Guts' feats, even scaled to the Sea God. Guts' persistence meant he wouldn't go down easy, but against Dimitri's inhuman strength, devastating abilities, and fervent willpower, it was just a matter of time before the vengeful king wore through him.
Saying it makes me berserk, but Guts could only go so fargus.
The winner is Dimitri Alexandra Blathid.
Oh, we guess who's next?
Thanks for watching. Stay tuned, we have a new death battle releasing every 2 weeks this year. And click the join button to get new perks and extra content. Planet level members even see death battles before anyone else, so don't miss out.
Silver Surfer? Yes! Oh, awesome.
I think you're going to have an advantage on that one.
Oh, I mean, I'm going to go for the Silver Surfer, I think, no matter what on that one. Oh, can't wait for Silver Surfer in a death battle. That's going to be great. The animation in this one was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fight was really cool. I didn't totally get there at the end. So, like, he was dead, and so the demons were coming to reclaim Guts, I guess, his soul. And then Dimitri was going to fight them anyways and, like, fight him off. So I think that's what happened.
I should have stuck to the good guys.
Yeah, I should have.
Man, I fell victim to exactly what they wanted me to, which was the math. Got me on the math. I was like, that Mach number, it's going to come down to the Mach number. Who's faster?
Yeah.
It's not.
Although one thing I do, I'm not saying that they got it wrong or anything like that. Cause I mean, they know these characters far better than I do. I mean, we just met Dimitri in this one, and we only know Guts from the other death battle. But is like, just because you beat somebody, I don't think that necessarily means that like you and now like inherit all their feats, or whatever. Like, it seemed like Guts beat Dimitri beat somebody, and that somebody beat another person, which took like a javelin through the heart or whatever, or the javelins that they were talking about. So they were using that to like justify how strong like Dimitri was or something. So, and maybe I got that wrong. Maybe I misinterpreted what they were saying, but it's like, certain people's skills match up better based on their opponent. And just because you can, so just because you can beat someone doesn't mean like you automatically get all their feats and accomplishments, I don't think.
No, I mean, I think in death battle, it's obviously the best guess as to who would win the fight.
Oh, yeah.
And that's probably like 6 out of 10 times it would be Dimitri, and 4 out of 10 times it might be Guts. So like Dimitri gets the advantage.
Yeah.
We default to Dimitri. He's probably going to win more of the battles if we put them head to head every time. But I did like how they deconstructed it in terms of Guts's armor and sword. I mean, because like what he comes to the table with, you're just like, okay, I'm sorry, who can beat that?
Yeah.
Like I get that Dimitri has magic, but I mean, like look at that sword. It's 6.5 feet tall. So I do appreciate how they try to do it, especially on some of these ones that maybe are a bit less obvious in terms of the skill matchup.
Yeah.
Because I think those are obviously going to be tougher to justify to the various fan bases. So you have to really dive into exactly how you come up with the answer. And they always do a great job with their research.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So we both lost on that one. Drops me down to 290 and you are down to 300. It's just... Just when I think I'm catching up, I just drop back down further and further. Let us know what you thought about this down below in the comments. And if you want early ad-free access to our death battle reactions, we have a Patreon link down below in the description of this video, along with a link to our all of our death battles here on YouTube.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for checking out our reaction for death battle Guts versus Dimitri, but just keep in mind
that our reaction is definitely not definitive.
Come on, I say Guts versus Nightmare.
Yeah.